times are really hard right now. Have you ever wondered if there might be a way to talk about the stress in your life with your partner so that there's no conflict or tension and you just feel supported and close? The Stress Reducing Conversation by John and Julie Gottman can help you to do that. Sarah and James and I are going to demonstrate this for you, and we really think you'll like it.
Well, something that's kind of come up recently is my office is planning to open back up sometime in the next couple of weeks. And it feels kind of early given the circumstances in our city right now. And I don't know if I feel fully comfortable doing that. And they haven't exactly communicated what the expectations are, uh, what sort of flexibility options there are. It's sort of just been this, we're opening back up, we look forward to seeing you um, type message that they've been sending. And it kind of makes me anxious. It makes me feel a little stressed out that if I were to say no um, and continue trying to work from home, that it might look bad with my bosses, with my coworkers. And I don't necessarily want to be, uh, I don't know, I just feel like it's a lot of pressure. Um, and I'm not entirely sure how to respond to it. And it's been on my mind the last few days, and we haven't really gotten the chance to talk about it. But um, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to move forward with it. And I mean, it's such a stressful time right now. And um, yeah, I haven't really had much time to process it.
Well, I definitely don't think you should start going to work yet. Like, just hearing you talk about that makes me feel so anxious. So, I mean,
So, Sarah, I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. I completely understand your feelings. I know this is a very delicate, sensitive topic for most people. But what I'd like you to do right now is just focus on James.
okay. So, I hear that you're feeling a lot of anxiety and stress about the prospect of going back in. Um, and I completely understand that. I think I would be feeling the exact same way, especially if, you haven't gotten that much information from your boss about any like safety measures they'd be taking or anything like that. So I'm really sorry that you've been dealing with that feeling.
Yeah, I really just kind of felt in the dark. And um, yeah, if there's one thing that really frustrates me, it's lack of communication.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I should just reach out myself and try to get all these answers. I feel like they should, uh, given the circumstances, they should be, taking strides to make sure everybody's kind of in the loop about what these things are. Um, but yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things is that I don't know what it's going to look like. And, that uncertainty, that lack of knowing is just, it's very stress inducing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, what about the situation worries you the most?
Well, you know, I don't want to possibly go back into a situation where I could be exposing myself and, maybe other people are not being responsible. And, um, in turn, I could end up exposing you or,
Hmm.
anyone around us. And, it's not like the virus is entirely gone from our city. It's still going on. There's still tons of people in the hospitals. And, just looking at the overall picture of things, I don't know if I would fully feel safe or certain um, that I wouldn't be at risk.
Hmm.
So I think that's probably what makes me the most worried about it.
I think that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Again, Sarah, reassure James that you've got his back, that you're here for him, that you'll get through it together.
Um, no matter what happens, we can figure it out together, of how best to move forward. And I'm happy to just be somebody you can bounce ideas off of, or talking about discussing this with your boss, but mainly just to be here for whatever you're feeling. So we're in this together, and and I'm here for you anytime that you want to talk about these feelings, especially as you're moving closer to that date that they want you to come back to work.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you feel heard?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
And are you open to any advice or suggestions?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would ask is, do you think I should just go for it and ask my boss myself, and kind of take that step in terms of trying to force their hand, or how do you think I should approach that?
Yeah, well, I think that I'd imagine you're probably not the only one in the office feeling this way. And so I think that probably you could just approach your boss. It's such an uncertain time right now. There's so much going on. And I just feel like I'd hope that he'd be receptive to hearing some of your concerns. And, but I also hear that you feel kind of nervous to do that. I would feel nervous too. So, maybe there's a way that you could approach it that, would be respectful and not overstepping, but still, voicing what you're feeling, and maybe it could end up benefiting everybody in the department just to think through safety measures and what you guys could do.
I like that. I think I'll do that.
That was really well done, Sarah. And I really, really liked that question when you asked James to talk more about some of the things that were worrying him. It showed that you were listening to his feelings and really trying to understand him at a deeper level, which was great. Okay, let's switch.
So, I think one of the biggest stressors for me recently in the midst of COVID-19 has been going to the grocery store. And I feel like I get truly anxious, whether rational or not, about going into the grocery store, even though they're trying to take a lot of safety measures. A lot of times people don't follow them, and people come right up next to you, and some people are wearing masks, some aren't. And so I find it's just a very anxiety provoking experience for me, leading up to it, during it, and then afterwards, just trying to clean all the groceries. And so that's been really stressful to try to figure out. And it's also just been hard to process, of course, that this used to be such a mundane task that I didn't even think twice about. And now it's something that I have to prepare for, and we have to prepare for every time before we go. And so, yeah, it's just become a really stressful experience and kind of scary. It's like you never know if you go in there, if somebody comes too close, like I said, rational or not, it's just felt that way.
Yeah. Well, we could always just do online delivery, right?
It's true.
Oh, James, let me just interrupt you for a second. I know that it's very tempting to give a solution, especially to a situation that might be a little stressful to you too.
Yeah.
But I'd like you to stuff that washcloth and postpone the problem solving and advice giving, and ask Sarah some more questions about what she's feeling.
Well, what about the situation just made you feel the most anxious?
I think it's just the innate fear that there will be exposure and that I'll get sick. I think that's really what's underneath all of it. And ultimately that I'll be exposed, I'll expose people in my family that are really high risk. And so I think it's just, I think that's really the fear that's underneath all of it. And going into a place that tends to be packed with people at all hours of the day, at least where we've been going, it's really hard to avoid people. And like I said, there are just there's everybody's doing the best that they can, but it feels like some people are just taking the safety precautions more seriously than others. And so a lot of times the one-way aisles, people kind of backtrack or will just walk right past you. Um, and it just, I don't know, I just feel a lot of like anxiety and chest tightness, and it's just become really, I have not been looking forward to the experience of doing it. So, and then when we do it together, I also feel worried about it, that, it's more of a chance for us both to be exposed. And so anyway.
Yeah, no, I think that makes total sense. That's totally a rational emotion. I feel like I have those same feelings when we go to the store together. So I'm with you on that. And I'm grateful that you're able to share that with me, because I have a lot of those same feelings, and I know that we'll be able to work through them together. Is there anything else that you feel about it, or other emotions that you've been feeling just at this time that you feel like you want to share?
No, I feel like that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, are you open to any problem solving or advice?
Yes.
Well, do you have anything in mind that you think that we could do?
Online groceries.
Where did you get that idea?
Someone really smart. Well, I actually think the online delivery could be a great option. And maybe just trying to go to stores that aren't as populated. I don't know if that's probably a harder one, but what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think those are great ideas, and we'll do whatever we have to just try to feel as safe as possible.
He's good at this.
You both did a wonderful job, and I'd encourage you to keep having these kind of conversations, especially right now during this COVID-19 pandemic, which is so stressful for everybody. So thank you so much for coming in today, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank
Bye.
You.
Thank you.
You just watched Sarah and James do an amazing job with the stress reducing conversation. This conversation helps couples feel understood, comforted, and supported, and sometimes they're even able to give each other a little bit of advice. I strongly encourage you to give it a try, especially during these times that are so difficult for all of us, when we're experiencing isolation, kids at home all the time, loss of jobs, loss of opportunities to hang out with family and friends. We really need to be able to talk to each other in a way that we feel supported and cared about. My passion is for helping couples to feel hopeful that they can improve the quality of their relationship. I really hope that by watching this video of Sarah and James, that you will feel encouraged and hopeful that you can improve the quality of yours.